Yes. So what you're experiencing here, what your collective is experiencing here, are the pent up energies, the pent up karmic energies being released. And these energies have been building for some time. They've been, let's just say, gathering a lot of momentum within the subconscious. And now these energies have been released through war. And this, in many ways, will impact the shadow realm, the subconscious realm of many of the people connected to the war, specifically because these are the energies that have been brewing in that subconscious level. It didn't arise unexpectedly, even though to many it may have seemed like it was out of the blue. So, this will be a particular challenge that really pushes many people to their limit, because this is something that many of you have stated you are willing to let go of, you no longer wish to experience. Your species is in the process of graduating past the lesson of war. For many of those lessons you have already learned. There are many on your planet who are attempting to repeat those lessons because for those people, they believe that that is the path of least resistance. They believe that that is the way for them to really get what they need. And many of these people have what you would consider to be political power that many of you have given them. So in the years to come, what will be truly needed for your earth is that people don't allow for politicians and for these groups to continue in the ways that they are continuing. So we know that that may not be the answer that you're expecting, but changes made by people to benefit people are what are needed. So this is an opportunity for citizens of the earth, for people to come together and to really specify what it is they prefer, what it is they don't prefer, and to, in a sense, demand that these be honored, these specific requests, these specific preferences. So you're coming to a time where you'll see that many systems are just going to attempt to use the same old tactics, the same old methods, the same old ways of solving problems. And you're going to find that these things will not produce solutions. You'll start to see that with a greater level of obviousness and clarity. And that will be a time where the citizens of the earth, the people of the earth, will have to come together and will have to demand a new way. Yes. So keep these things in mind. That's why these things are showing up. Throughout the day, spend at least 10 minutes visualizing yourself in a golden bubble of light that protects you and that casts away all negative energy to form this aura or bubble of light. Inhale and see a golden sphere of light at your heart center, expanding and filling with life force. And on your exhale, see this orb of light in the heart center expanding around you, forming a bubble of light. So inhale, pull light into the heart center. Exhale, expand, and see this orb of light glow. And charge yourself like this for at least 10 breaths. And then instruct that this orb of light protect you, protect your life force, give you good luck, nourish you, provide you guidance. And really spend time charging this orb of light with the feeling state, the emotional states that represent more of what you would like to experience within your personal reality. We would also advise charging the building that you're in with a golden aura of light as well. And what you're doing here is you're creating bubble realities that will be sensitive to your energetic thoughts and your energetic emotion. So what we would advise is form an orb of light using about 10 breaths. And then after the 10th breath, pull the orb of light, expand it so it covers your entire space. And then program the orb of light. May this space be protected. May this space be filled with good energy. May this space be filled with love. These types of things. This is what we would advise doing as a beginning you could say, type of protocol. The same thing can be done with doors in the home. The doors themselves can be programmed in that way, simply covering them with golden light and giving the golden light different prompts, different energetic commands. Think of these as the basic tools, the basic ways. You can get more advanced using things like sigils or talismans, placing them under doormats or in areas of the home that oftentimes act as gateways or portals between the interior of the home and the external physical reality. So those are some basic things that can be done. Sure. Well, people will have their reactions and people will have their emotions and people will have their opinions. People will have their thoughts about what has occurred. People will be impacted by what has occurred and what is occurring in different ways. One of the things that we would say is let people have the experiences that they're having. Don't try to take those things away from people. Let people flow with whatever emotions they're experiencing. What we will say is you can offer people the energies of love. You can treat people with those energies and you can connect to the core of people and you can nourish that core with the same love, the same light that you use to activate and nourish your own inner core, your own inner spirit. So you can shine that light past the emotional and mental and physical traumas of people to connect to that core level of the self. And they may only notice the smallest type of effect from you doing that, but nonetheless, through you simply shining that light onto the core level of their being, you start to awaken that core level, and that will, in many ways, create a type of domino effect that starts to really activate their energy body and can assist them in overcoming some of the challenges that they are experiencing. So what we would advise is during these times, stay safe, cultivate your loving energy, cultivate your positive energy as greatly as you can, regularly perform meditations that are designed to bring peace to the area and to the surrounding areas where you are located, and allow for yourself to regularly send that love energetically to all of the different people within your local community. And what you'll find is when you are physically with them, when you're physically interacting with them, that energy that you have sent out will be what you are then entangling with. It will be what you are then interacting with when you are physically with your local community, when you are physically with the people of your country. And each day, you are then energetically coding the collective consciousness of your community. And that starts to dispel the negative energies that can build up during these times. One person can make that difference. One person can create that type of energetic change within a community if they are consistent with it. Sure, sure. So when we talk about seeing things positively, it may sound like we're talking about seeing things in a very happy way. But when we talk about seeing things positively, we are talking about seeing things clearly. Think of it like this: negativity is like darkness, there's more mystery, there's less specificity, there's less obviousness. Positivity is like light, there is more clarity, there is more room for getting specific and seeing specific details. So, seeing things positively in relationships, which you call the enemy, the people of Hamas, what we would say is see them clearly. Why would someone resort to terrorism? Why would someone resort to violence? Why would someone resort to hurting others in order to get their way? Well, a person would have to believe that that is one of the only ways they can actually get their needs met. And in order for a person to buy into something like that, that person must feel as if they are backed into a corner. They must feel as if there really is no other way. And the only reason they would feel that way is because that's what they were taught. They inherited that perspective and were not given perspectives of, let's just say, alternate options. So when you follow the thread all the way back, what you'll find is a human being that simply went through a particular type of upbringing culturally, socially, that led them to the point that they are at now. And in that way, you can start to see yourself in the enemy. You can start to see how you too could have walked a similar path if you were in a different upbringing, if you were in a different country, if you were in a different type of cultural or social group. Now, that does not excuse acts of violence. That does not make acts of violence something that is condonable. But what we will say is this: being able to at least see the humanity in the enemy is what allows for conversations to be had. Because if the enemy is just seen as some type of savage animal, then really combat is the only way of being able to deal with that in terms of how your species usually solves problems. However, if the enemy remains humanized, then conversations can be had because you're acknowledging that there is an intelligence behind the enemy, and that intelligence is the same intelligence you possess. It's just being expressed in a different way. So we know that may not necessarily be a happy perspective, but we would consider that to be a positive one because, again, it is referencing clarity. It's representing being able to see what is past the surface. And what is past the surface of the narrative here is a human dimension, a human experience. Yes, yes. And we understand this. That's because this conflict is incredibly fresh. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So there's still a type of reaction-based energy that's taking place nationally. So that will have to play itself out, but that will only have so much life force. And then that can set the stage for conversations to actually take place once that initial reactionary energy has begun to burn out a little bit.